All right. So for the last call of the night, this was a callback to. Do you remember last show when we kind of talked about Mel and his hole?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Mel's hole? And it was there's
several holes.
Several holes. There's several calls with Mel about his hole. There's groups out there looking for Mel's hole. There's
Mel's hole is very popular.
Yeah, there's books
Mel's
about
hole
Mel's
might want
hole
to get tested
and everything. This man, this whole theory of Mel's hole, and it was a great little conversation because these calls are pretty short, but there's a great little conversation about Mel's hole and why there should be more.
Talk to that guy from Washington State. They had the hole.
Mel's hole, yes.
Right. I'm pretty skeptical about that. Because of the fact that you asked him, you said, Mel, can you provide photographs of this? And he said,
that's right.
No.
Well, no, that isn't quite right. That's not quite right. What he said was, in the first interview, that he would indeed try to do that. And when he went back, there were military people preventing him from getting back. He went in trying to get pictures.
Right. It's just that I heard all that, and he said, isn't there, some cameras that you know of, we have enormous technology as far as cameras go.
Yes.
There's no possible way he could ever get close enough to get a picture, because what my whole thing was on that is that you asked me, you said, can you draw us a picture? And he said, sure.
Yes.
You see, my thing with that is anyone could do that.
That's true.
Anyone could draw a picture, and anyone could say, this is what it is. And you asked me, have you involved the media? Have you involved any...
Right. I think you have every right to be skeptical about Mel's hole.
I was very, very, I was very interested in it. I heard it, I heard him discussing it on the, air. And if it's true...
But what you've got to remember is, Strange Universe went up there with a television crew.
Right.
After I did that story.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know that, huh?
No, I did not know that.
Yes. And one of their camera people fell into the hole.
Yeah.
Never to be heard from again.
Never to be heard from.
The sound guy almost fell in, too.
What's that?
The sound guy almost fell in,
sound
too.
Guy?
Yeah. Well, there was a cable, and, he damn near got dragged down with a camera guy.
And I heard you say that...
No, I'm kidding. They did go up there, though.
I was going to say, come on, that's a little far-fetched.
It is far-fetched. But what they did find was military boot prints all over the area and military markings all over the area, and military track vehicles all over the area where Mel's hole is supposed to be.
Right. I kept hearing him talk about it, and then I made notes about it because he said that the whole, I can't exactly remember the measurements on the diameter and everything. If it's, like I said, the world needs things like that.
Why?
We need things that we can,
why would the world need a bottomless hole?
Why do we need a bottomless hole?
Yep.
Because some things are just one of a kind, and it makes them more mysterious. It makes them hold certain meanings to people.
Have you ever considered this, though?
What's that?
Deep within the earth, we really don't know what's in the earth. I mean, you hear scientists say, well, it's an iron core. You hear scientists say, well, it's a molten core and it's hot.
Right.
You hear people talk about the hollow earth theory. You hear a lot of people say that there may be things that live deep within the earth. Life. Now they're talking about, science is saying there could be life deep within the earth. And if you've got a hole that things can fall down, you've got a hole that things can crawl out of.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
it's just, and he said, even if it's not a bottomless pit, like, he suggests, that it's the deepest hole in the world.
Well, he didn't say bottomless. He said that he ran the monofilament down X number of 7,000 feet, I think, and he found no bottom at that point. That's pretty far.
Okay, and this is another point I wanted to make. He has every constitutional right under the amendment to the military, even if it's the military. Even if.
My laugh. I know where you're going.
Okay, you know where I'm going with that?
Yeah, and you can't really get there.
And what I'm saying,
in other words, if you've got something, sir,
okay,
that affects national security.
Which is a plane crashing there. Was they say
Whatever, whatever. If you have something that is so serious that it would affect national security, and you could hold the Bill of Rights up and talk about them until the cows came home, and you'd still end up in a facility somewhere.
So you do think that the military has the right anyway? Well, I know they have some rights to bend the rules a little bit, but do you think that
bend the rules?
What's that?
As you say, bend the rules?
Yeah, bend the rules, which means the Constitution and the rights.
Yes.
When I heard you're right, but when I heard it the first time, I was just saying to myself, if this is my property, and I had this kind of thing on my property, and I wanted to go investigate it, it's my property, I know that. So I'm going to go.
Well, they offered him a deal he couldn't refuse. They said, Mel,
they were the private.
You essentially you have two choices. You can lease this to us in perpetuity, or we can take it away from you. If we lease it, we'll pay you a bunch of money. You can go down to Australia and live happily ever after. Or
they were the people that were calling the.
Or we can take it away from you. And if you don't think the government can do that, let me show you what's happened here in Nevada.
What's happened?
Around Area 51.
Oh, okay.
Okay? They just annexed all kinds of land. They just said, that land is now ours.
Right. I don't get how that can...
So you know where that song says, this land is your land? Not all of it.
Everyone laughs. So they're laughing.
Government oppression is so funny.
Yeah, ArtBell just went George Carlin on his ass there, didn't he?
He sure did, yes.
The amendment. Yes.
Mel's hole.
Whoa, Jacob! What, man? Why?
I saw that earlier and started laughing.
Mel's hole, not to be confused with Roman's hole filled with breadsticks. I like that one. Good job.
Well,